Is Walmart Tint any good? Should you put this on your car? How does it look? How long will it last? These are some of the questions I asked myself, and if you're looking for an affordable tint that doesn't break the bank and looks good, then you may want to watch this video and see if this tint is worth getting for your car. This here is a Blackmagic Select Window Tint that you get at your local Walmart. This costs roughly between 10 to 12 US dollars for 24 inches by 78 inches of tint. And they have 3 available tints. You get the 5%, 20%, and 35%. 5% being the darkest, 35% being the lightest. They have 3 different levels to choose from: Select, which is the most affordable option, Premium, and Professional. The one I'm installing right now is the 5%, and this claims to be scratch resistant, fade resistant, and cools and protects the interior. I am no professional tinter, but I enjoy taking on challenges like this here. Plus, I like saving myself a little bit of money on the way. Tinting a vehicle is not cheap nowadays. It can range, depending on your vehicle and where you live, anywhere between $100 to 600 US dollars. So is Walmart Tint any good? The answer is, well, it depends. You see, I'll be very honest with you, the tint you see on this truck right now is actually Blackmagic Tint, which I installed about 8 to 9 years ago. And this was actually the 5% tint I used back then. So you can tell that it's not dark anymore, and it's slightly faded to a color purple. I've seen worse tints though, but this old tint has unfortunately faded. Now, I'm not sure if this new Blackmagic Tint is a new type of film, and if it'll be much better than the older tint, only time will tell. But this 5% tint says it's fade resistant, but again, only time will tell. Should you put this tint on your car? If you're trying to save some money, or you're looking to learn how to tint, or you're just like myself, that you like to take on DIY projects yourself, then yes, I think it's a good place to start. I've seen reviews on some other Amazon tints, and I'll be honest, I don't know if I can trust them too much. At least with Blackmagic, I kind of have an idea of what I'm getting, just because I've used it in the past. With 3 rows of this Blackmagic tint, you can practically tint your entire car. That's like 35 to 40 US dollars if you're using the Select version. That's actually not too bad if you're trying to save some money. Now, if you own a really nice and fully loaded newer vehicle, let's say like a Mercedes or a BMW, or just a higher end model, I would not really go with this tint. In a case like that, I would much rather just pay a professional tinter to put on some professional grade tint. It just makes more sense. But since I don't own a newer model or a higher end model, then I really don't mind putting on this Blackmagic tint myself on my 97 Chevy. Now, if you don't plan to keep your vehicle for much longer and you want to make it look a little nicer, then maybe, yes, it would be worth putting on some of this tint. After all, tinting your vehicle may help increase its value. If you live in a hot area and you currently have no tint on your car, then you may want to also put on this tint to help cool your vehicle. It's better than no tint at all in my opinion. Now, this 5% tint says that it blocks over 90% of UV rays. Now, I'm not too sure how much of that is actually true, but I do believe that it does provide some protection, and any protection is better than none. Even if it only blocks 50% of UV rays, that's still not bad, as you want to get some sort of protection for your vehicle's interior. Is it hard to install? In my life, I've only tinted about 5 cars, and I want to say from a 1 to 10, it's about at a level 6 when it comes to difficulty installing. As you practice installing tints, you'll get better. Some tint that takes you an hour to install the first time, you can maybe install in half the time on your second try. It's just a matter of practice. I haven't tried other good quality tints, but from what I've heard, some are easier to install than this one here. So that is something you may also want to consider. But overall, I believe that if an average person like myself can do it, then you can do it as well. And I'm sure you could do it much better than me. How does it look? As you can see here, the final install product, it actually looks pretty good. It's dark, it's clean, not hazy at all. I see a few tiny bubbles, but that's just because of a poor installation that I made. Again, I'm not a professional tinter, but I still think that for around 11 to 12 US dollars, it's worth the tint. Maybe in another 5 to 10 years, I'll be swapping it out again. How long will it last? It depends how much sun exposure it gets. I want to say that my truck's old Blackmagic tint started to fade after about the 5-year mark, but I just hadn't taken the time to replace it. But overall, I still feel I got my money's worth out of it. But if you really want a tint that'll last a long time, then you may want to consider getting some higher end good quality tint. So for your first tint installation, or if you're on a budget and you want to do a DIY project yourself, I would recommend this tint, as it's not the best tint, but it's also not the worst. Plus, it's affordable. But let me know, what do you think in the comment section. That is all I have for y'all today. If you enjoyed the video, don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel. Thanks for watching. Have yourself a great day.